Hi there, guys. So this video is going to kind of be a somewhat of a question. Um, I'm going to present a couple of scenarios and kind of and the reason why I'm making the scenarios, and then I would love to hear you guys' opinion on what I'm talking about. So it started off kind of, I think maybe a couple of weeks ago. I was talking to a friend of mine. And one of the things that I said to her um, that she didn't necessarily agree with um, was I told her that I didn't see anything wrong with us, as in people, parents, or what have you, as we continue to evolve in parenting and things like that, and how we see misogyny, patriarchy, and all those things are such a horrible problem. First of all, for men, most of them don't see it; they feel empowered by it. Um, but especially to women, and even little girls, you know. Um, and so I suggested that uh, we should buy our little boys some of the same things, or even learning to teach them the same message that we do when we buy little girls dolls, and little girls the stove and the easy bake oven and the little bed and the little vacuum and the broom and all of these things that teaches her how to be a homemaker. So what I said and what I meant, and like I said, as I was talking to my friend, that's pretty much what I said. I don't see anything wrong with either gifting little boys those things, or somehow teaching little boys those type of skills that have traditionally been for women, little girls, and things like that. Um, the friend that I was talking to, I can't really remember if I think she agreed somewhat, but I think she kind of disagreed on, letting them play with dolls and uh, the cooking stuff and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go into why I say what I say and clarify a little bit, because I know how it sounds, especially for the first time. And I'm going to tell you why. So, um, first of all, misogyny is a problem. Patriarchy is a problem. And like I say, the millions of men who don't believe that, think that, understand that, the reason is more than likely because they benefit from it, and it's just one of those things that it's been that way forever, and so um, it's kind of one of those if it ain't fixed, don't break it type things. But it is broken. It's broken for those that it doesn't benefit, and it doesn't benefit women and girls, and it causes horrible and huge backlash for both, um, and has really since the inception of it. I don't really think it benefits men either, and some of what I'm talking about is proof that it doesn't benefit men either. Um, so here's the reason that I spoke those things. Um, when it comes to misogyny, when it comes to the patriarchy and things like that, so many men feel that women have roles, men have roles. I get that. Okay. However, as far as marriage and even relationships, long-term relationships and things like that go, it's going to kind of be hard, even for the most independent woman, really, to be in a relationship with a man and not some kind of way slip into the making the bed, the cooking the food, the groceries, the buying stuff, the taking care of the kids, that like I don't care how independent that woman is, what kind of job she has or whatever, unless her job like literally takes her out of the home all the time, like she's never hardly there, then I can kind of see. But if she's home at a regular and decent, pretty much um, time and hours of the day, it's going to be kind of easy for her to slip into those roles kind of by just kind of by default. And the default is usually that men are going to stay in their role and not do certain things. And so she's going to have to do those things. And that's kind of how it goes. Um, I'm gonna throw this out real quick. I know in my marriage, my last marriage, um, I was doing all those traditional things. Um, and my husband decided one day to get in the kitchen and literally make some jerk chicken. Now, he was from New Orleans. And he decided to get in there and make, and I don't remember what else he made, but that jerk chicken it was superb. And this coming from a man who, even though he's from New Orleans, and a lot of men that I know that are from New Orleans are cooks, like, and they're good. Um, he never hinted about cooking, never said much about cooking. It was just always led for me to believe that he didn't cook. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that it was kind of my job and my whatever. Anyway, long story short, the jerk chicken was phenomenal. Like that I still remember that jerk chicken. Like it was so freaking good. And I just remember asking him, like, why you don't cook more? You know, like, why you, like, this is, this is wonder. Like, I couldn't have even done that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even no wonderful, excellent chef or anything, but I could not have got in there and did that the way that he did it. I mean, it was perfect. It was tender. It was juicy. It was perfect. And, he never cooked anything else in our marriage, but I mean, I don't know. I guess he just felt something that day, but I kind of feel like he was also holding back. I think he could probably cook more than he was leading on, but just didn't want to fall into that role, unfortunately. Uh, and yeah, it did put a lot of extra pressure on me because I was doing everything. So it would have been nice if he had got in there and cooked some time for both of us. Like, we were married many, many years, and for me always to do the cooking was not, I mean, there's a lot to that because you got to think about what to cook and what to put together and how, you know what I'm saying? And like sometimes you almost need a menu sometimes as a woman, as a wife, to think, oh, well, we already had that last Thursday, so let's eat this today. And, and it's just, yeah, it's not always such an easy task just to get up and go in the kitchen and whip food up. You know what I'm saying? So having a partner who can cook and who can do other things around the house is always good, which leads me back to the whole premise of this video. We have a country of men who, I don't think all these men can't cook, can't clean, can't do things that they need to do. I think it's just kind of like what my husband's done. He just didn't do it. He just didn't want to do it, or just whatever, or he just thought it was my role, or just. But I think that goes on in a lot of homes across America. I know all of these moms are not just not teaching their sons, and especially, I'm going to say, single parent households. And the reason for that is because they are single mother households. You're teaching these kids to make their bed. You're teaching these kids to wash dishes. You're teaching these kids to sweep and clean. Taught my son all of those things. My daughter too. She's more rebellious, but I taught them to clean up behind themselves. I taught them to, how to wash dishes and I taught them these skills because at the time after I had separated, I don't want to confuse y'all, but I was single at that time. I was married for a great number of years and I was single and the whole thing. So I've been married more than once. So I don't want to confuse y'all, but either way, um, I wasn't going to have time to do all of those things in the house, especially for my son, because I had to work. You know what I'm saying? And so he needed to learn things. And I taught him, and I taught him very well. He was making his bed by 2. Like he was pulling up his little cover and putting his little pillow and, trying to pick out his own clothes and things like that. It's just a little bitty boy. And at the end of the day, I think because we have a problem right now with, we have a new generation of women who are tired and fed up of cooking, cleaning, catering to men literally expecting it, men having that attitude that it's women's work, it's a woman's job and thing. And I'm going to be honest. I really think a lot of it is that women are more tired of men's attitudes about stuff and just putting it on them and putting the parenting on them and taking care of the kids on them and everything, more so than they are about actually doing it. I think it's more the men's attitudes that women are tired of because, we're going to have to do it anyway. But if you had some help, if you had a partner, it wouldn't be so bad. And I think that's really what it is. It's the entitlement of so many men. It's the expectation of so many men. And so there's just a lot of women who just don't want to do that. They're just burnt out. They're tired. They don't want to be nurses. They don't want to be therapy wives. Like I talked about, I think last week in my videos where I talked about being therapy wives. You know what I'm saying? These instances where men obviously need healing, obviously have childhood traumas, just like women. Obviously have these issues and troubles in their lives that they don't want to go to a therapist about or even talk to their boys or whatever about. They want to talk to their women. They want their women to heal them, to help them, to comfort them. And when she can't, just because she can't, just because she may not have enough in her to do that, on some real stuff. And she may break, she may fall, she may get angry. There's all kinds of things that can happen, when you're trying to make your woman and your wife your therapist. And so that causes a lot of problems because, for some reason, like I keep saying, men want to put all of that stuff on a woman, a wife, or whatever, and not go to a professional. And that's weird to me. That's really weird to me. I actually could do a whole video about that, adding on to that, because I saw this video that would be so perfect to talk about that. But getting back to little boys being gifted these things or either being taught these things, I think my friend rebelled about it because, I don't know about little boys playing with dolls or whatever. But let me explain the reason is because men are really under the impression that they are not nurturers, that they can't be nurturers. And I'm not necessarily saying just every year get your little boy a doll or whatever, but I'm saying at least give them the tools, give them the tools to learn how to be sweet and sensitive and nurturing. And maybe I shouldn't have said sweet. We're so homophobic in this society, and that's not what I'm trying to teach. Any type of homo, nothing. It's just a part of being an adult that lives in a house with other people. What's wrong if your son or your daughter falls down on the bike and you give them a hug and go and put a little peroxide on it and a Band-Aid? What's wrong with that? Why do you have to scream and holler for the wife to do it? Why can't you do that? You know what I'm saying? If your child wakes up and, they're screaming from a nightmare, why can't dad go in there and re-tuck them in and give them kisses and give them reassurances and read them books and, and be sweet and kind? Why can't it be that a child would have the ability to go to the dad just as much as they would to their mom? Like, I don't, it's about skills. It's not about, I don't think any woman, and if she does, you need to reevaluate your woman. But I don't think any woman would call her husband gay because he gave his son a hug and, picked him up because he fell off his bike and bruised his knee. You know what I'm saying? I know normally the thing is, oh, punch him in his chest and tell him to quit being a sissy and quit crying, quit being a little bitch or whatever. I mean, like, that's usually what we do to toughen him up and make him a man. But then when you neglect all those other feelings and when you neglect all those other nurturing qualities or things that can be done with children or whatever, then you grow up in a society where men literally feel like and say they have no emotions. I literally just met I guess this guy was about 27, 28 years old, who literally told me that he has no emotions, does not operate in emotions, that is only for women, and he never displays emotions. Because that's what I'm asking him. I'm like, so you never display emotions? Because first of all, I'm thinking about anger, because that is the one emotion that many men are okay with having and comfortable with having, and the world accepts of men, is that anger emotion, which can be so destructive, so volatile, and really literally hurt people and themselves. But we accept that for men. And like I say, instead of being able to show some compassion and some empathy and some concern or whatever, because your son, missed the football, maybe the football popped him in the face or something, bust his lip or something like that. And, instead of saying, oh, I'm sorry, son, I didn't mean to do that, let's go take care of your lip, whatever, and if he cries, not calling him a punk and a sissy, you know what I'm saying? And actually loving him up, patting him up. He ain't got to cry for 3 hours. He ain't got to, you ain't got to necessarily baby coddle him, but let him know it's okay. Like, show him attention and affection and show him that, it's okay to, I mean, it'll hurt. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with crying about it. You're not a bitch, you're not a simp, you're not a whatever if you cry about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's amazing to me how we put those type of emotions and those type of you better not cry. Don't you cry because of this. You better be, you're a man. On little kids. Like, we start that stuff when they 6, 7, 8 years old and even younger. 2, 3-year-old little boys, oh, get up off that floor. You better quit crying. I'm going to give you something to cry. Like, why are we like that? You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with a little nurture and care? Now the argument is going to be, oh, you're going to make him soft, or you're going to make him. Okay, I honestly do not think having nurturing qualities, feeling empathy, showing compassion, and things like that is going to automatically make him gay. I just don't feel that way. I think he'll be able to have sympathy and nurture and care and concern and love for his wife and his children. I do think that. I think that'll make it a little bit easier. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, him cooking, him cleaning, him sharing household responsibilities. No, you don't have to get him necessarily an easy bake oven or, a little stove and bake set and all that, or a little broom and mop set. You don't have to do that. But what is wrong with, if he spills something, you show him how to clean it up? What's wrong with, as he gets older and, he can learn how to load the dishwasher, or he learns how to rinse dishes, or he learns how to wash his dish out. or he learns how to make his bed and change his sheets. You know what I'm saying? Or he learns, um, I don't know, some pottery, some what, I mean, like things that would help out in a relationship. I don't see how those things are gay. I don't see how men cooking is gay. Like, what's wrong with teaching your little boy to cook? You see what I'm saying? Those are things that's going to be helpful, useful skills in society. The same as if we have a little girl with a little tool set, or if we give a little girl a car. You know what I'm saying? Or we give a little girl, we let the little girl go with her dad while the dad is doing some carpentry work. I mean, keeping her safe, of course, um, or teaching her how to drive a 18 wheeler or something, you know, letting her go out on the road with him to learn these type things, teaching her how to change her tires, teaching her how to change the oil or whatever, you know. And then we have men, grown men who can't even do those things, but will call a woman who can do that masculine. So are you not masculine because you can't? Does that make you girly because you can't? Or they just make you, oh, I just don't know how to do that, or I'll just go pay somebody. That's well and fine. It's well and fine. But my thing is, that doesn't make that girl any more of a man or masculine than it does a little boy cooking, a little boy washing dishes, a little boy knowing how to clean up some stuff, or mop a floor, or whatever. That doesn't make him gay. You see what I'm saying? What I'm saying as I close, what I'm saying is that I think we need to learn these skills. Both people need to learn and know these skills so that we can stop getting into relationships where men feel like, oh, whatever, well, we got a baby, so yeah, that baby yours. You know what I'm saying? I'm the dad, but the baby's yours because you got to feed it, you got to change it, you got to clean it, you got to take care of it. I mean, and dad literally does nothing for the child. And then, you know, when it's time for dad to take care of the child, the dad is exhausted. He don't want to. He call it babysitting. He can't wait for you to come back home. You trying to go out with your friends or your mother, and oh, the baby wet. What do I do? Oh, well, I think the baby pooped, and the baby won't stop screaming. You know, is the baby hungry or whatever? I mean, if you spent enough time with your child, and if you spent time learning how to change a diaper, and if you spent time learning, you know, kind of the different cries, you know, it's a skill. But just like we women can learn, I mean, we weren't born with those type of innate skills. And that's another thing that I talked about in a recent video, how men seem to just think that women have these maternal, just natural maternal instincts when we really don't. It's just observing. That's really all it is. It's just observing. My grandbaby was over here just on Friday, and he eventually, I got two of them, but the little one eventually fell out and went to sleep. I called it about 30 minutes earlier because he was sitting there just rubbing his little eyes, and he was just looking so tired and everything, but he just kept on playing. He just kept on playing. As soon as I pulled that mat out, and as soon as I pulled that pillow out and everything, and I told him lay down, he was asleep within, shoot, a minute or two. Like, he was asleep really, really quick. And it wasn't because of, and he didn't even cry. I just looked at him. I looked at the fact, you know, he'd been playing really hard. He's only 2 years old. Is he even 2 yet? I think he turns 2 in March. But, um, so yeah, he turns 2 in March. So I'm looking at this stuff, and I'm looking at him rubbing his little eyes, and I'm just looking how he's acting and interacting, and, you know, kind of slow playing with his brother and everything. And I'm like, this baby is tired. He's sleepy. He want to go to sleep. And he'd already eaten. He'd been playing. He was sleepy. And, you know, that's not a magical thing. That's a thing that a dad could learn. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, and what's so crazy about it is we say these things and we have these roles. When a man eventually, let's say he's a single father, because I'm gonna tell y'all that's something that's growing. I may have to talk about that in a video, but that is something that I have discovered that is actually growing. The number of single men. So anyway, I'll talk about that later. But single men with children. Um, but anyway, that is something that a man could absolutely do if he just observed his child. You know what I'm saying? And let me throw in there while I'm at it, I have to give my son some props because he is there. He is in the home. He is there with his two little boys. They share responsibility. It ain't no, oh, you do this and you do that. And I'm glad it's not because it makes me feel good that as a mom, like I said, I taught him how to make his bed at 2. I taught him how to wash dishes and do things and clean up around the house when I had to go to work. You know what I'm saying? So my son even knew how to comb my little girl's hair because he kind of became the big brother to her when I had to go to work because they're 15 years apart. You know what I'm saying? No, I did not try to make him her dad and all. I didn't do all of that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he did have to help babysit. You know what I'm saying? Um, and he learned a lot of things. And now here we are years later. He got 2 sons. He's in the house. He's in the home with his sons and with his girlfriend, and they are making it work. You know what I'm saying? Not to say they don't have issues or problems, but still. You know what I'm saying? I don't see or think that there's anything wrong with men or little boys learning household skills, chores, learning the elements of being compassionate, having empathy, showing concern, showing love. You know, as I close, I want to say there was 2 videos that I saw, and if I'm not mistaken, I think these were both entertainers. I think they had 50 Cent, I think, who kissed his son as he was getting out of the car or something like that, or hugged his son or something like that. I think he kissed him. Then there was another video, and I can't even think offhand what that video was, but it was a dad being affectionate to his son. And his son was, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10. He was kind of a big boy. And of course, the internet was going crazy. Oh, that's inappropriate. And, oh, but no, men shouldn't be kissing on their sons. Da, 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 da. Why? Why not? Why not show that your dad can be loving and sweet and kind and gentle towards you? Like, why not? So he gonna make his son gay for kissing him, for hugging him, for showing compassion, for showing love? Ain't nothing crazy and funny going on about that. What is weird about that? You know what I'm saying? Now there are some weird things that can go along in parenting, and I think there does need to be a line on some things. But a dad kissing, hugging, or whatever his son or whatever, there's nothing weird about that. And I think we need to get out of those kinds of mindsets and stereotypes, because I think it's a bad thing when you have a son and a daughter and the dad always kissing and loving in on the daughter and things like that, and propping her up, and she's sitting on the lap and she loving on her daddy and all, but for the son, all he just do is get punched and hit and man up, and be a man, and you got to be tough, you got to be. Why he can't have a hug sometime? Why he can't get a story read to him on his dad's lap? Like, I mean, depending on how old he is, like, why can't dad tuck him in sometime at night? Like, I mean, I don't. It's like we're making little boys stoic. We make little boys feel like they should not have or show emotions, or if they do, they're a punk, they're a sissy. Like, we really got to stop that. And I'm not saying just let him cry all the time and just be overly sensitive, overly this, overly that. Some of those things are trauma. Some of those things he might need therapy for. But I'm just saying, I don't see where. I think both extremes can be bad, just the oversensitive, the too much crying, the too whatever. But I also think it's also a problem too tough. No, I don't have no emotions. No, I don't show no emotions, and I don't play with no doll. I don't even touch no doll. I don't look like that. And you got little boys and grown men. You have grown men right now who are afraid when they take baths to literally clean their whole entire body and butt and that whole area up under there that needs to be cleaned and washed and rinsed. There are men who don't want to do that because they say it's feminine. Because they say they don't want to touch their butthole because that's going to make them gay. Like, are we serious? So you'd rather walk around stinking? You'd rather walk around with sores? You'd rather walk around with your butt itching because you don't know how to properly clean and wash yourself because that's a girl thing? Like, oh, come on. We got to get out of that. We got to get out of that. We got to change the way we teach our little boys. Like, we really, really do. We really, really do. Many girls are so balanced in their, you got girls who can cook, clean. You got girls who can change tires, girls who climb in trees, and nobody necessarily calls them gay or lesbian because they can do those things. They might say they're a little tomboyish, maybe, but eventually those things that girls can do in a balanced way just become skills. It just becomes good for her to know and to learn. But for a boy, some reason a boy got to be a whole straight gay just because he is compassionate or because he's smart. There's another thing with little boys being smart in school and being academically good and and loving academics and things like that. Oh, you a square. Oh, you a nerd. Oh, you a so you even get ridiculed for that. Like, he can't even be smart. Why not? Why can't we normalize, especially in our community, little black boys being scientists and little black boys getting into STEM programs and little black boys, being smart and being nerdy, and maybe he don't want to get up and go outside and play football. Maybe he want to study some science or some math. Maybe he want to stay in his room and build some stuff. Like, why does he have to be a nerd? Why does he have to be a weirdo because he don't want to go outside and throw the football or do whatever else the other little boys are doing or touch little girls' butts and all that? Like, we make it weird. We make it weird. We adults make it weird. We make it weird. We make it weird for little boys to be different and be something other than macho and masculine and just stoic and know it. I'm tired of men like that. I really am. I'm tired of little boys like that. I'm tired of little boys, getting punched in the chest and popped in the back of the head and all that, and then told, don't cry. Be a man. Most of these grown men out here who have been told to be a man are still not men. And can we dissect what is being a man? Can we dissect that? Because most of the things that we call being a man and we say, oh, that's a man, and it's really not. It's just being a person. And a very uncaring, unconcerned, no emotional, no type of sensitivity. Like, that's not no man. Like, it's really not. Now, I get personalities because some people just have that type of personality, so that's well and fine, but we need to be more balanced in our raising of our sons and our daughters. We really do. But this one was about men. This one was about little boys, rather. So I would love for you guys to tell me, do you see a problem with the way our little boys are going, the way our society has been with raising little boys? Do you think it's anything wrong with teaching little boys to cook and clean and make their beds and also to change tires and to work on mechanics and to climb? I mean, just letting them be a more all-around balanced little boy, but not telling him that he's special because he can throw a football, but he's a sissy and a girl because he know how to wash out his bowl. or because he may have a green thumb, or he might like plants and flowers and things like that. Why does he have to be gay or homosexual for having those type of skills and abilities too? Do you see what I'm saying? We need to teach them that it's okay to be softer. Yeah, yeah. We have such highly frustrated little boys and men because they grow up and don't know how to express their emotions. Then they get with women who want kisses and who want hugs and who want them to tell them sweet things and who wants them to tell them that they're beautiful and who wants them to share things with them and watch sweet movies and loving movies and give them poems and dude don't know how to do that at all. He has no interest in doing that at all. None whatsoever. No theater, no concerts, no, he don't want to do none of that stuff, but he want to have sex. He want to have sex. He want to get up and go to work, come home and have sex, play on his game and be with other men, but he don't want to do anything nice, sweet, kind, compassionate, or loving with his wife, or for his children. And thus we continue to have breakdown of families. So you guys let me know what you think. Please leave me a comment on this. I would really like to hear and know what you think I'm saying, if you get what I'm saying, because I notice some people come here and they have a complete, they don't even know what I've been talking about and just say some weird off the wall stuff. So please let me know if you get it. Does it make sense to you? Leave me a like and a comment. Please subscribe. Thank you guys so much for the subscriptions. And let me know what you think. So you guys, thank you for listening. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next video, see you next time.